right, anytime you want to attach two pieces to one another, a rule of thumb for beginners is that you want the two pieces to be between the size of your pinky and the size of your pointer finger. Somewhere not larger than your pointer finger and not smaller than your pinky. Again, a lot of artists do larger or smaller, but they're more experienced. All right, so I have rolled a coil that is smaller than my pinky. So I might have a more difficult time attaching this coil if I'm a beginner. So let's say I want this coil to be sticking out like a handle. I need to do three things. I need to score it, which means roughing up the surface of the place I want to attach it. You can use a needle tool. I often use a fork for large areas. So score it in the two places. And then score the object I'm going to attach in the two places. Nope, you don't get to take that.
What?
Oh, I thought you took something. You're returning something.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So I have two things scored. And then slip is like glue for clay. It's just clay suspended in water. Depending on the type of clay, some people will even just use water. But with our type of clay, we need that slip. So I'm just working it into the surface I just roughed up on one of the two pieces. You don't need it on both. And then you're just going to press the two parts you want to attach. Ooh, I made that a little too far apart. There we go. All right, so I'm attaching them by pressing my two pieces together. I have to support behind it in both locations, so I'm putting my thumb behind it in the bowl. All right, and then I've created like a handle. And then I need to knit. So knitting is just pulling the clay together.
Good morning. Please excuse this interruption. I have two groups of students I need to come to the office at this time. Blaze Bergstead, Matthew Bowen, Noah Dole, Jasmine Hernandez, Dewan Johnson, Anthony Taken Alive, and Jeremiah Walls. The other group of students I need at this time are Sierra Williams, Madison Lyman, Brecken Meggs, Emma Rensvold, Julia Kraft, Aaron Kursman, Atai Bucher, and Markel Alexander. Thank you.
And knitting, I'm just pulling clay from one piece into another, or I could go the other way, wherever I have the most clay, or I could go back and forth. What I don't want to do is go sideways, go along the seam. I'm going in the opposite direction of the seam that I created. All right, so I've created a handle for this little pot. Let's say I have two slabs that I want to attach. So I have two pieces and I want to like make a stand, and maybe I would want to turn this into a house or a bird house. So the same concept's gonna work. I'm gonna use a fork this time because I have a larger area. So the area that I'm going to put my two pieces together, I'm gonna score. Both pieces. All right, then on one of the pieces, I'm gonna slip. So I've scored and slipped. And then now I'm going to press those pieces together. And now I'm gonna knit. All right, so knitting, I'm gonna pull clay from the bottom to the top or from the top to the bottom. And I'm not going this way, the direction of the seam. I'm going against the seam or perpendicular to the seam. And then I can smooth it with my hands if I want to make that disappear. I'm going to want to do it along the side here. And I'm going to want to do it along this side here. So you don't ever want evidence that there should be a crack here. Now, if I have an inside seam right here, I'll often, where can you see that? Okay, I'll often score along that inside seam, roll myself a baby little coil, much smaller than my pinky, and then squish it. I'm supporting it from behind. Because I don't really have extra clay there to pull around, so I add clay. Like so, and this should be like really strong at this point. It shouldn't come apart. Now I will make it look pretty, but at this point it should be fused together. It's called score, slip and knit, anytime you want to attach two pieces.